Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're all feeling good. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for your time and presence here today. My name is Maria Curvello, and I'm the DCS program leader at VTEX. And it's such a pleasure to talk to you today directly from Brazil. This webinar was designed with two main objectives. First was to bring a very rich discussion about how the digital career is transforming businesses, what we expect from the future of the technology market, what are the biggest challenges that we are facing, and how education can impact this future worldwide. Sorry. In addition, I will explain how we understand that the DCS program can transform the job market in this segment by educating high-performance professionals who are willing to start a future-proof career. So the format will be as follows. We'll have two panels. The first, I invite Pablo Leon, the head of customer experience at VTEX Asia, Shasha Yao, the customer success manager at VTEX, and Leonardo Rodrigues, the solution engineer for VTEX Asia. And the second panel, we will talk about the program itself, its structure, challenges, and long-term objective. And of course, we will clear any doubts about the program, VTEX, or any other related subject. So I encourage you to send your questions on the chat. So let's start. Our guests are here already. Guys, are you there?
Yes.
Hello. Hey, Maria.
Hello. Well, good morning for me and good night for you. Thank you very much for accepting this invitation. I'm very honored to talk with you all. And I wanted to start, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Shasha, would you like to begin?
Yeah, sure. I think I'm the first. So hi, everyone. I'm Shasha Yao. I'm the customer success manager in VTEX Asia right now. Actually, I joined VTEX about 6 months ago in March. Before that, I was working in Shopee for more than 2 years. As a manager managing the cross-border business for Shopee Singapore. And then before that, I was actually working in Shanghai L'Oreal, also as an e-commerce manager, helping them to launch a new French brand. Further, previously, I was working in US and then in Shanghai for Tmall Global as an agency, helping global brands to launch their e-commerce business in China. So that is basically my background.
Amazing. Thanks. Cool. Who else?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Leo.
Let me go. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm about to turn 2 years in VTEX, but 6 months also, a little more in Singapore team in Asia. I've been in VTEX as entered VTEX as a partner, head of a partner solution engineering team, helping partners to develop projects. Now I'm focused on solution engineering for Asia, both partners and customers. And before that, I've been like 10, 12 years e-commerce managers for fashion brands in Brazil. And, been working with digital all my life, more than like almost 25 years of experience on digital websites, digital projects. And that's it.
Great.
So, hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be this afternoon talking to you, and it makes me very happy to have the opportunity to present DCS program together with the whole team. My name is Pablo Leon. I'm the head of customer success for VTEX in Asia, based here in Singapore. I've been with VTEX 2.5 years. I started my career in VTEX Spain, and then I transitioned into a head of sales development in VTEX Latin America. And now, since late October, early November last year, I've been working with VTEX Asia into expanding and initiating our operations here in Singapore. It's very exciting what is going on, not only in VTEX but also in the e-commerce space at the moment. So it's very exciting for me to be this afternoon with you, to share with you what we have been doing, what we want to do, and where we see VTEX and e-commerce going for the next couple months and years to go. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, we have a strong team of guests today. And I want to start asking you both, Sasha and Pablo, what is like to work in the digital commerce market? What is and how to have a future-proof career, in your opinion?
You want me to start, Pablo?
Yes, please, always.
Sure. I have been actually after my graduate from my master's degree in US. I started my career in e-commerce, and I have been working in industry for almost 7 to 8 years. I have no intention to change industry because I'm loving this e-commerce world. So there's a couple reasons. I think number one is from college to my master's degree, I have been amazed about how I was actually a marketing major, and I was amazed about how online marketing has been changing the world. Me myself, as being a regular online shopper, I was also very interested of how to do business online. So that is where my interest started as my career in e-commerce. So it was very natural for me to find a job in e-commerce industry, and I have the opportunity to working for an agency for Timo Global after my graduation in master. And then it was an eye-opening for me because, first of all, is that it is a very, very fast-changing industry. So I actually, as a fresh graduate, I was exposed to a lot of things. Not only technical skills, but also communication skills as well as business skills. Like, this is something that the e-commerce career can give you, is that it is a well-rounded, that you are not just siloed to one function for the business, but actually you have to be exposed to all the function for business in order to do a good job in e-commerce. So for me, that was a very great learning experience. So that's number one for me to enjoy working in e-commerce. I think number two reason for me is that after several years in US and then transition to China, it's also an eye-opening when I go to China to see how fast in China the e-commerce industry has been growing. I believe all of you should know China's e-commerce actually has been, I would say, top the world in terms of technology, in terms of the development, in terms of the consumer mindset. So you can see what I see in China is there's a lot of things that we never thought it's going to be possible to be online or changing online. For example, when I was in US, you probably just, buying book or fashion or clothing online. But actually, when I go back to China, I see there's a ton of other things we can sell. We can sell cars, we can sell house. There's somebody who can even sell rocket, like literally like rocket flying to the space that can also be sold online. So that is another thing that is really intrigues me, is how much possibilities is online e-commerce and then this digital commerce can actually incorporate. It's like it is not only just for consumer, but it's also for a lot of other possibilities on the business. So I think that's number two, is that they're complete and their roundness of how they can incorporate a lot of business functions into online. I think number three things that I really love working in the industry is when I come to VTEX. This is actually another eye-opening experience for me, is that because I have worked in agency side, I have worked in the brand side, I've worked in Shopee as a platform, e-commerce platform side. Right now, I'm working in the technology side. That is where I realized that this is not only the thing that we see front end. Like, we see consumers can buy a lot of things. We see there's a lot of changes, digital marketing, how fancy you can do to intrigue consumers to buy along. But there's also a lot of development on the back end, how the technology side is actually involving to incorporate all these kind of business functions to transform them into digital business. So this is another thing that for me is another learning curve, is how to think from the business side and then technology side to incorporate into e-commerce work. So to summarize for this 3 point, I would say you will never be bored working in as an e-commerce for your career. And then you will always learn something new. And then you will always be mind-blown how fast and how amazing these things has been developed in this career. So I do encourage you, if you are somebody that love challenge, if you're somebody don't want to be bored or the same old, I do encourage you and do challenge you to choose a career in e-commerce and choose a company that can provide you all this.
Amazing. Thanks. Now, Pablo, it's your turn.
I always like the energy and passion that Shasha brings, and her unique perspective about e-commerce. There's something interesting, and I'm not going to repeat what Shasha said because it's exactly what I think. There's 2 or 3 things I often see. First of all, is that VTEX is a technology company. You all guys and girls will have first-hand exposure of being on your daily work, not even for a certain project, but on your daily work. You will be involved with leading-edge technology and leading-edge cases, business problems that all retailers have, regardless if it's a B2B, B2C, or marketplace. Sometimes even just OMS, the order management system. These are just edge cases that customers really have trying to solve very complex e-commerce problems. You will have this from day one. You will not be needing to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month to be exposed to very complex problems. And this is something very unique, because in VTEX, as Shasha was saying, Asia and China, they're leading the curve. They're way ahead of the curve with e-commerce. You see live streaming, you see mini programs in WeChat, you see wallets. All of that actually works in VTEX right now. So you will be able to implement this type of solutions that you can see already in China happening and in Asia right now in VTEX to all of our customers. So this is a great opportunity to be exposed to fast-paced company with leading-edge technology right after graduation. Yes. Second thing is that when I joined VTEX, I was talking with them. At that moment, there was she's still in the team, VTEX, Fernanda Stus. She helped me recruit and join the team, and I was telling her, hey, there's no one day, not even a week, there's no one day that I feel I'm doing the exact same thing. Every day in VTEX is different. Every day I'm being faced towards different challenges, different opportunities, and it's not boring. And this is something that, as a newly graduate, I wish I would have had this opportunity just coming out of university. Being exposed to a fast-paced, fast-growing company such as VTEX very early in your career, it gives you a completely different competitive advantage later on in your career. Why? Because you're basically getting used to what the world is in business. Fast-paced, making decisions quick, trying out, testing, A/B testing, doing MVPs. You get involved in this new way of working. Could it be hybrid, remote? Could it be physical, digital? It's just a new way of working that we will give you all these tools and opportunities for you to challenge yourself and to grow and be a better professional once you finish DCS. better professional, and also, and what I like, the third thing I wanted to say about e-commerce in general is that in VTEX, we can just talk about e-commerce the whole day. You will become a true expert about e-commerce. You don't have to be in any level of the company just to get knowledge about e-commerce. We talk about e-commerce everywhere, and everywhere, anytime, to anyone. And this is something that we have very, very, very ingrained in our culture. We spend, just to share with you what we do right now, we spend Friday mornings just talking about e-commerce, training about e-commerce, talking about complex real businesses problems, or how are we solving them for our customers. This is invaluable. This could be like a master's degree, but you're actually being paid to learn and to gain, increase your experience in e-commerce. So just to summary, DCS, I think it is the best program at the moment. If you want to work in a future-proof company, have a future-proof career, and learn new skills that will help you be a better professional in the 15, 20 years from now.
Amazing, amazing. There's a sentence that I really like that for me it's perfect for this moment of the digital commerce industry. That is, the transformation pace was never that fast, yet will never be this slow again. I think this is perfect. This is a great summary for your both speeches. Great. Now, Leo and Shasha, could you tell us what it's like to work at VTEX?
Shasha, I'm going first because you already had your time.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm worried because she's great speeches. How can I topple that? So,
Yeah, sure. You want to go?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool.
No, yeah, okay. Right. Okay, first thing about VTEX, about culture. I kind of talk about this a lot every time I see, and I've been actually working with DCS, other DCS programs in Brazil a lot. So we do have a very big flow of new people in VTEX. We've grown so much in the last year and a half, 2 years, right? So I always tell this story that I've been in the industry, e-commerce industry, for more than 10 years. And so has VTEX. VTEX is 20 years old, right? So I already knew VTEX long before I came to VTEX, came to work here. So this cultural thing about VTEX having a big, strong culture, and everyone kind of singing the same song, walking in the same pace, right? I really thought it was a lie before that. It was just marketing stuff, or just something that people in the marketing team say, that beautiful things, and when you get to the real deal, the day-to-day, it's not that pretty. And then I was very well surprised when I got into VTEX, because it's totally true. It's about culture every time, every day, and it becomes normal, this is the best, because it changes you. And I'm not talking about being, VTEX being the only one in the world with that. No. It's a new breed of companies. It's those new perspectives, new quote unquote, because this culture has been here for a long time. So it's more like, how do you live? How do you evolve? How do you learn and work in a very open and diverse environment? That everyone has something to say. Everyone can be heard, and this is not. Again, it's about how we understand the way to do it, the relationship between the people inside the company, that makes us able to do that. Because it might become mayhem, it might become chaos if everyone speaks at the same time. But all the rituals and all the structures that we have kind of organize this kind of, everyone has something to say, and like in a controlled chaos, right? I truly believe that if you have one specific way of doing things, you need to challenge that way every time, every day, and you keep doing that way every time. This challenge is broken. Like you challenge the way you do it, and the way you do it win from you, and then you continue. And if it loses, you change, you adapt. This is one thing you're gonna see every day in VTEX, because you need to adapt. Shasha is saying this so much, this so fast paced. Maria also said right now about the quote of fast, moving fast and changing fast. So that's exactly how it goes. If you don't change together with that, you'll be behind, right? So again, this is one thing, culture. It's not just advertisement. It's not. I said about diversity, and we have some so inclusive environment, right? You can't do it. You can't be heard if you're not inclusive, right? If you're not, fundamentally open to everyone. So actually, even now, right now it's even more, because we're so global. We're here in Singapore. The company started in Brazil. I came all the way from Brazil here in a very different culture in here. And I still believe in this inclusive environment, right? In this very open structure. Right, yeah, and the last thing I could be, talking like the whole day here about how it is to work in VTEX, but we are very concerned. I am, and I know that I speak for a lot of us, that we are very concerned about results, about what we can achieve with what we are doing. And it's not about just getting here on time, going back, just working the usual 9 hours a day, and then getting back. And then when you realize that you fulfilled your time in the clock, you feel okay, I done what I had to do. No. You don't need to do that. There's no, it's totally result driven. We need to make things work. We need to accomplish things, to learn a lot of things more than that. So every time you learn something, you're getting better. And this is no beautiful thing to say, oh, you're coming here only to learn. No. It's a company. We need to make results. We need to get the customers there selling. We need to deliver high-end technology. We need to be future-proof. And that's Pablo was saying about that future-proof thing. It's like it looks like a small word, but it means so much. You cannot, let's say you have a course and you learn everything and you end up and you get a certificate. Is it future-proof? No, it's now-proof. Now, the day you get the certificate, everything is being learned from now to back. You don't know what's coming in the future, but you know how to expect what's coming, embrace it, and be there. And of course, you can learn things from, like a vision to the future. So when other markets come around, you're already there doing that. So this is kind of just to be on the point. It's not a future-proof. Future-proof is to be prepared with something you don't know yet, but you're still with the right mindset, and then learning every day, understanding that you don't know everything. And you never know, because every time you learn something new is being born. So you just go for the next thing and for the next thing. And this is totally about VTEX. I haven't stopped learning since day one. And I looking back, I see that I've learned so much, and looking forward, I see that I can learn so much more. It's pretty much like that.
Amazing, Leo. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Leo. I think Leo touched a lot upon like what VTEX is about. I think I just want to emphasize maybe 2 to 3 points. I think number 1 point is that I remember somebody, because it's like I'm the totally new girl here. I only joined VTEX 6 months, but I remember very, very clearly in my onboarding with HR, there's one sentence I remember that the HR lady said, is like, in VTEX, everybody is a leader of something. I think I do truly believe that, is that in VTEX, our culture is so inclusive and so flexible, and then so flat that everybody can be a leader of something. like it's not about your rank, it's not about your experience, it's about the effort that you put in, it's about the knowledge you have for a specific thing. You can be a leader for a specific thing. It can be a system, or it can be a customer, or it can be a specific function for the e-commerce. So, and then we do encourage everyone to be an expert in e-commerce, no matter if you are technology background or business background or marketing background. Like I said, e-commerce can include everything. So as long as you are willing to learn, you can be a leader, you can be an expert in one aspect or in a lot of things in VTEX. And then we truly respect you that. And then you will become, like whenever we have questions, we'll come to you because you are the leader for that aspect. So I think that's number one, that as a new fresh graduate, when you join this kind of company, you will have the empowerment, you have the room to grow yourself. And then this is something I feel very valuable for me. As if I think back as a fresh graduate, I would think this is going to be a very good opportunity for me. I think this number one that I wanted to emphasize, or maybe just an add on to Leo's point. I think number two, I want to say is VTEX is a truly international company. I worked in US, in China, in Singapore. I have worked with a lot of companies. Like I've worked in L'Oreal, I worked in Shopee, and I worked in Tmall Global. You will think like these companies are very international, but I would tell you maybe the reality is not that accurate, because when a company is very structured or very mature, you kind of just getting exposed to a little thing, very regional or locally thing. But in VTEX, especially, even though we are 20 years, but I'm so amazed how young this company is still, the energy of how young this company still are. And also another very important part is that VTEX Asia, we are just getting started. And you can get the support from everywhere. So this is a truly international team that can help you to learn from everyone from every region. So I think this environment, it will really help you how to communicate with different cultural background, with different people from different time zone. So this is something that you cannot learn from those big companies probably in this region. And then this is also very important to learn in your young, early career stage, because believe me, this is something that you will see valuable when you go up higher. This is a cultural, this is a mindset thing. So better to expose yourself early so you can benefit from earlier. So I think I just wanted to kind of emphasize on this 2 points, add on to Leo's, and then kind of show you or expose you to hopefully you can know a little bit about how to work, how it's alive working in VTEX.
Yeah, great. And our guest today, we have one of the topics that were mentioned by Leo and Shasha is that our diversity. And today, Leo and I, we are Brazilians. Pablo is Chilean, right, Pablo?
Peruvian.
From Peru.
Oh, sorry. I was sure you were Chilean. And Shasha, where are you from?
I'm Chinese, but I live in Singapore for 3 years.
Yeah, great. So I think that would be nice to emphasize this here. Okay, and now Pablo and Leo, before the last question, I wanted to ask you, in your perspective, how do you believe that education will impact the e-commerce market and our society?
Leo, would you like to go first?
No, you go, man. You go.
I think education is we do e-commerce every day, but we are focused in education. This is one of the main core activities that we do. We educate the ecosystem. We share knowledge with our customers. We share knowledge with our e-commerce partners. we share knowledge between us. Education is basically, I think, a consequence of what DCS program consists of. You can be expected, in just to keep my answer short, you can expect to continue to learn, to explore the learning opportunities once you join DCS program. I have never stopped learning since I joined VTEX. This is what it is expected. When we hire and recruit candidates, we're looking for the best talent, but also we're looking for candidates that are willing to continue to learn. Otherwise, there's no way we can continue being successful. Not being only recognized by the industry analysts, but now by the public market. We continue to be very focused on increasing knowledge and sharing this knowledge. Leo?
Yeah, well, you kind of almost said it all. It's more like, and also I have touched that point as well, that we learn every day, right? But DCS is a little different, I think, from normal everyday in VTEX. You're not just learning how to do things or learning e-commerce by your projects or by your experiences with the customers or what you have on your plate every day. You will have specific e-commerce classes. You will be taught by the most intelligent people I know, practically. So it's such an experience that would make you like a more flexible professional. And it's getting something that Shasha was saying about being truly global, truly international company. You will get very different perspectives from e-commerce markets all over. This is, and I'm really talking about a lot of different people from different countries. You're in here. I kind of share the Brazilian side with Maria, but there, the Singaporean team itself is a lot of nationalities. But if you expose this to the Europe team, we got Western Europe, Eastern Europe, US, all Latin America, Brazil. There's a lot of different people over there. And you'll be learning from all of those at the same time. So it will make you a more flexible professional. You can, fit together in a bigger number of companies, in a bigger number of markets, and you understand a lot of other perspectives of the whole world, right? And this itself is going to make you more plural. Usually what happens is about this, you have, e-commerce is a very fast-paced market everywhere, all around the world. Every tiny little country that is doing this because of the pandemic had to speed up e-commerce. So if you're entering this area, it's certain that you're going to have a lot of work. And of course, you're going to learn a lot. But if your perspective is narrow, or you work in a very closed ecosystem, you don't get flexible. So usually, I've seen this a lot in my life. People, I've been working in, for instance, I've been working in the fashion industry for quite a while. But together with my work in the fashion industry, I knew I could not stay in the fashion industry alone, because I would be, again, with a narrow view of things. So I went up doing consultancy, and I was searching for customers in consultancy that had nothing to do with fashion, nothing at all. So I went to consultancy with grocery, with jewelry, with cars, with fashion, of course, but a lot of other different ecosystems. There was this customer that was selling like cakes for pets. How different is this, right? It was the best thing. I learned so much to understand how to help them evolve and create e-commerce and sell and all those things. So in here, I don't need to move. I don't need to have 2, 3, 4, 10 jobs. I just go on with the job I have, and this plurality is already inside VTEX. We have so many customers going on right now, very different, and now more from different regions, from different cultures, from different perspectives. I understand a lot more about the, let's say, for instance, the Indian market, the Indian payment market. How would I ever imagine doing that in any other company in Brazil or in China or in Singapore, or closed with a closed ecosystem? I've been talking with people in Australia, in India, in Iraq, in Kuwait, in Singapore, in everywhere, right? But this is I think the impact of the education that we have right now, it's inside VTEX, is that this education is coming from all around to you. It's channeling all around to you. This is one thing. And of course, this is gonna accelerate your growth. You'll be asking more questions, getting more opinions, understanding things from very different perspectives at the same time. So of course, you learn a lot. You connect things faster. You see more different stuff and get more, understanding a bigger perspective how things go.
Great. And now, before the last question, I want to ask for our audience to share the questions, doubts that they have for our guests. And in the meanwhile, guys, please, could you share a final message with us? Something inspiring for those young people that are at the beginning of their careers?
Ladies first.
I want the three of you, to say something.
Okay, if I just want to say one thing, I would say challenge yourself as much as possible when you're young. And then e-commerce definitely somewhere that you can feel challenged, and then VTEX especially somewhere that can feel challenged. So I do challenge you to choose this career and then work with VTEX and see how far you can go and how high you can jump. So that's my final say.
Pablo, you're a better speaker, better presenter. Let me talk and let you finish in a high note, right? It's more like I was going in the same way as Shasha, like don't hide when you're young. When you can, you have more cards to toss, right? You can bet freely, right? You don't. When you're older, you kind of, okay, it's becoming an old guy talk, right? But when you're older, you kind of have more responsibilities. You have to choose carefully a little more. You don't have enough time to bet or throw yourself into the unknown, let's say, right? But again, I don't think it's totally unknown. On the contrary, right? You have a lot of content for you to understand how it's going to go. The unknown is about the content you get. And that's about it. Throw yourself. That's when you have the mind, the time, the vocation. You don't even know. I have. Sorry. I speak too much. I do have a lot of options, a lot of things in VTEX. A lot of people that I know in VTEX that got here thinking they were gonna do one thing, and they realized they liked better another thing, very different thing. And some other things that they said, they work in a place, in a department, and doing something that didn't exist. We all realized together that this was an important part of the job, so we make it. We make this position, this job, and you find yourself there, and you go there and do that. So there's no constraints, no places. And what better moment in life for you to do it than now, when you don't need to choose, or you haven't committed so much time into one thing that you can choose freely to change. So simply.
In 2015, I read a book from Martin Ford, The Rise of the Robots. And if I look back, we are essentially working and doing in our daily jobs something that maybe 20 years, 25 years ago did not exist. Thanks to internet, thanks to consumer behavior, thanks to how digitalized our lives are. 20, 25 years ago, this did not exist. When I was born, this job did not exist. So when I was asked in primary school what I want to do for when I grew up, I could have never said work in e-commerce. This is what we can provide you by DCS program. Have a career in digital. Don't think about e-commerce. Have a career in digital. Come learn in VTEX. Come expand your horizons. Doesn't matter if you are an engineer, doesn't matter if you're a designer, doesn't matter if you're an archaeologist, doesn't matter. This future, this digital future is for everyone. Right now is the time for us to gain these skills, to learn something new, and have a promising future 25, 35, 45 years from now. This is it. This is it. And this is my invitation, my personal invitation for everyone to join this program, because 35 years, when you're doing this presentation for the next DCS class in Singapore, you'll be saying, we're doing something in e-commerce that maybe 50 years ago did not even exist.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks a lot, you guys. We have two questions. The first, but I will ask you to be faster on your answers because we still have the second panel. But the first one, I would like to ask Pablo, because he's the leader at VTEX Asia, the team leader at VTEX Asia. And I want you, I will deep dive into this matter about the job rotation later today. But I would like to you to share some of the areas that the attendee will be able to rotate during these 2 years.
Yes, yes. So we are a growing team here in Singapore. So you will have 2 years full experience on your daily work. Now, this comprehends of solution architects, first-party apps, customer success, customer excellence, maybe even involved in sales solutions engineering as well. Every single aspect of e-commerce, you will be exposed. So you will have the whole vision, the end-to-end vision of how e-commerce is essentially provided as a solution to our customers.
Yeah. Okay. I think that we have a problem. Where's Leo?
I think he dropped.
Okay. So I will. Okay. So I will ask you both another question that has come in. Leo. So. Yeah. How was the adaptation period after starting to work in another country? How does VTEX help you in this regard?
Great. Yeah. First of all, I have changed already. I was already VTEX, right? So it was something new, but not that new, right? You know, working. I've just a quick recap. I moved to the Asia team in late February, and because of COVID and those things, I moved to Singapore in May. Late April, May. So the move itself, it's a big thing, right? I'm coming all across to the other side of the world, so it's more like it was not a bad period, but on the contrary, it's you know, being amazed with such a different culture and such a different place, right? Even in the middle of the COVID situation, I was quarantined in a hotel and I was looking at the place, the kind of amazingly beautiful place here in Singapore. On the other side, on the side of the work, on the side of the ecosystem and e-commerce, I keep saying, and again, I say this a lot as well, and I keep upgrading my perspective of e-commerce. Before VTEX, I used to work I was born in Rio. I worked like Rio and São Paulo in Brazil, and I see the ecosystem of the size of the fashion industry and a little more. So there's the size. And then I got to VTEX, I jumped to understand, okay, big customers and a different perspective. And then I get to Asia, jumped again, like 10 times more, because all the ecosystem here is so much bigger. Everything that you do here is an impact so huge that it's kind of overwhelming sometimes. But again, the team is truly international. So I'm not based on a Brazilian guys to help me because I am a Brazilian in here. On the contrary, I've been seeing Shasha and Pablo and Varun and Leon and Lester and everyone in Singapore team every single day. So we are all together as an international team, as a Asian team to support each other. So it's kind of way easier than I thought. Way easier than I thought. The only thing that it's not perfect is about COVID, and it's actually at the deep, it's a good thing because my wife's not here with me yet. That's just that. If she was with me, my wife, my family here would be perfect. But these guys here welcome me so much, so nice. So almost no adaptation period.
Great, thanks a lot, guys. We have another question, but I would kindly ask Paula to send to them through a LinkedIn message. Larissa will share their LinkedIn profile on the chat right now. Because we are running out of time, so I need to move forward for the next panel. But thanks a lot, guys. You were amazing. Like, we're the best guests. I freeze, right?
You'll freeze a little, yeah.
Yeah. But it was amazing. Thank you very much. And see you in the next opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Everyone applying to the DCS program. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to see you all here.
See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Guys, the QR code will redirect you to the landing page, DCS landing page for the applications. And now moving forward for the second panel. We will talk in more detail about the DCS program itself. First of all, the program, which lasts 2 years, has 3 main pillars. It combines work experience, study, and mentoring. Before I deep dive into each pillar, I want to share a big picture of the program. This program aims to accelerate the development of new grads and people at the beginning of their careers. It's a very good opportunity for the ones who want to get to know more about the digital commerce industry. As you may be aware, and because of our discussion earlier today, we had a significant increase in this market last year due to the pandemic. And VTEX, as an important player in this market, has developed this program to prepare the future leaders of this industry. A digital commerce specialist is what we call as a full stack professional, a complete professional that has a good technical and business knowledge. Someone that understands that the digital commerce, that the digital transformation pace, and knows how to use this moment to impact the market and society. For sure, you are going to be prepared by us to be this professional, to become this professional. That's our goal. So let's start talking about the working experience. During the 2 years, the attendee has the opportunity to experience different areas at VTEX, as Pablo said. The experience in these areas will give you a holistic vision about VTEX clients and business. And it will be very important for you to get to the desired position at the end of the program. The areas for the job rotations will be suggested depending on which career you want to path. You can become an account executive, a solution architect, a customer success manager, or even a solution engineer. It will all depend on the chosen areas and, of course, your performance. But regardless of your role at the end of the program, you have the title of Digital Commerce Specialist. But how is that? How we can give you this title? Well, there is where the study experience comes in. Today, the DCS and Education program provided by EICA, the European Institute of Commerce Management, that aims to educate and support commerce professionals to form a bold digital transformation strategy. ACOM, it's one of VTEX partners, and it's a reference for the professionals of the segment. So during these 2 years, the trainee will have access to a range of knowledge dimensions of the market through weekly classes with senior professionals. Different contents will be addressed about the e-commerce market, market, merging theory and practice. You have many deliverables during the 2 years, but the main one will be the CMX test. This is the Commerce Management Executive Certification, also provided by ICAM. We'll share the website on the chat with all the informations, and you feel free, of course, to send your doubts in this matter. Now, last but not least, the mentoring pillar. This is a great opportunity for the trainees to get closer to senior market professionals with vast experience in the technology and digital commerce market, and we are pleased to say they are at VTEX. For the DCS Brazil, for example, they have the opportunity to have the VP of customer experience like Rafaela Rezende, or the co-founder of VTEX, like Alexandre Sansini, as mentors. So that's what we believe. It will help to accelerate even more the development of the attendees, besides being a very good opportunity for networking. So this is the big picture of the program. I hope that I have given you more reasons to apply. Now, reinforcing the main dates. The applications will close on September 12th. Right after the applications are closed, we will contact the candidates and explain the next steps. The program starts on January 3rd. The requirements are to be graduated between July 2018 and July 2022, and also be fluent in English. We don't have any specific graduation as requirement. We only want people who want to be part of this amazing moment of the digital commerce industry. So guys, thank you very much for your time and presence. Let me see if we have more questions. I don't think that we don't have any other questions related to the program. Please send Li Ping Chan. Sorry if it's wrong pronunciation, but please send this message for our guests. He will be the best person to answer you that. So guys, thank you very much for your time and presence. Please connect to me on LinkedIn and send all your doubts, your remaining doubts by there, and I will be pleasure to answer you. I want to end this webinar with a video of the DCS attendees from Brazil, Argentina, and Spain. It's a quick video, and please feel free to connect on LinkedIn again. I would love that. Thank you very much and good night.
Quando entrei na VTEX, eu estava com muita sede de aprender e me desafiar de todas as formas que eu pudesse encontrar.
El equipo aquí en Barcelona es increíble y mi objetivo es sacar todo lo que puedo de este equipo y del ecosistema de VTEX.
Ingressei nesse time incrível que é a VTEX.
Y hoy estoy muy contenta de estar formando parte del DCS Program en VTEX.
E eu tô super animado com o DCS, já tô aprendendo muito.
Estou muito animada para enfrentar novos desafios e me tornar uma especialista em digital commerce.
Siempre me apasionó el mundo digital y estoy muy contenta de formar parte del programa DCS.
Espero me encontrar, dentro do campo de especialista.
Eu vi aí o DCS como uma grande porta de entrada para esse mercado.
Aqui vamos a um passo astronômico.
Estou muito animado com todas as oportunidades e desafios que estão por vir.
Minhas expectativas com o DCS são muito altas.
E também poder ajudar esse time incrível da VTEX a revolucionar de vez a landscape do varejo mundial.
E ao lado de profissionais inspiradores, construímos juntos o futuro desse ecossistema,
que vai evolucionar o mercado de varejo mundial.
Eu estou super animado e ansioso para os próximos desafios dessa jornada.
Essa trilha está começando, mas cada passo tem sido super gratificante.
Fiquei encantado com a transformação que ela vem promovendo no comércio digital.
E com certeza isso já está acontecendo e está sendo uma experiência sensacional.
Hi, I'm Paula.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm a future
digital commerce
specialist.
Digital commerce specialist.